Good afternoon, all. As we believe nothing can stop us to learn, so that we are all together here on virtual media. Hereby, I'll welcome you all principals, HODs, and all dignitaries in today's session about the fundamental of healthy living through concept of strain of wellness program. So, without any delay, I would like to welcome our today's speaker, Lieutenant Tanuja Sodhi, ma'am, on the behalf of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University. Welcome, ma'am. To give quick introduction about her, I would like to say that she is an ex-naval officer, author, and motivational speaker. She is also practicing life and health coach. She was one of the 22 women selected over 60K application from all over India for the first batch of women officer in Indian Navy, and also featured in Limca Book of Record in 1992 for the being first woman officer in Indian Navy. She has authored two books published by Rupa Publication, and her third book on women's holistic wellness is ready and awaiting a suitable launch date. It's an honor to have you with us. So, without any delay, we start our today's session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vaibhavi. Thank you, Utesh, for having me here. In fact, I'm very happy to be talking to students. I really love that. I want to start this session. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So I want to start this session with a few questions to all those who are listening. And I want you to feel them inside, and you would know whether it's a yes to them or a no to them. So, do you sometimes feel bogged down or stressed out because of a lot of academic workload? And sometimes you feel like your energy is low, you're feeling low on, say, focus, attention. Sometimes do you even get bogged down in today's world, say, overwhelmed with all the unfortunate news? And I would also want to know whether you sometimes feel very disconcerting in your stomach, digestive system, sometimes feel bloated and maybe gassy, acidic. It happens to most of us at different times. But also, if you feel like sometimes you're moody, irritated, and your whole cognitive being is like as if you're moving in a dizzy state, and it's like you're not able to figure out why are you feeling like that, totally like a zombie. And do you actually sometimes, just to say, deal with such stressors, do you often crave some kinds of foods? So if your answer is yes, even to a single question that I put up, or say to many of them, this talk is definitely meant for you. It is basically that I'm here to talk to you about some very important lifestyle tools, which I like to call health pillars. To be precise, there are 6 health pillars which I'm going to be discussing with you. And these will actually equip you in the times of stress and make you very resilient. I mean, everybody has stress sometime or the other. In fact, every day, some small amount of stress is there. That will always be there. But are we actually able to deal with it strongly? So these 6 lifestyle tools, or I call them pillars, are going to really help you, strengthen you from inside, and make you very resilient. Now, for the ease of your understanding and for retention, like what if after the session, whenever you feel a little stressed out, how do you recollect what I spoke about? So I've made a small acronym for you so that you can retain it and recall it whenever you need it in future and throughout your life. So this is called SHRINE, SHRINE. So S is for sleep, R, H is for habits, R is for relationships, then I is for the interventions of the mind, N is for nutrition, of course, and E is for exercise. Now, you might wonder why shrine. So what this word shrine really means is a place of worship. I'm sure all of us know this. It could be a mosque, temple, church, gurdwara. So what do? If we are in a shrine, we feel very, say, respectful, and we hope that blessings will come upon us. So it's the same thing. I consider our body to be a shrine, a place of worship, where when we take care of it, it takes care of us by showering its blessings in the form of good health, vitality, and happiness. I can assure you that. So, without spending much time on this, I must go on and deep right into these tools, these amazing tools which can deal with a lot of things like information overload, overwhelm. Like sometimes it's like the overwhelm is so much, and especially you people are students. Sometimes the say academic workload, deadlines, and then say other issues, your own health and everything can overwhelm you. So these will definitely help you out. So I'm going to be going from one to the other, but before I start, I want to tell you it's not going to be in the same order of shrine, because I want to go as per the relevance, and you would know why I changed the whole say shrine order. And also that each of these topics is actually a subject on its own. So I could go on each and every subject, each and every tool for 2 hours, but unfortunately we don't have that much of time. So I'm taking a overview of all this and all of them, and I'll leave you not overwhelmed with too much information overload. I'm going to share say 3 to 4 very very smart, simple, and doable tips with you, right? So let's dive right into it. So the first one is, I'm going to take N from shrine, which is nutrition. All of these are very close to my heart. So nutrition is anyways every single day a part of my life and your life. So nutrition, I want to ask you, how many of you are actually aware that uh, your gut is your second brain? It's known as that gut is your second brain. And how many of you actually know that serotonin, the feel good hormone, the happiness hormone, 90% of it is made in our gut? Also, almost 70% of our immune system resides in our gut. So you can imagine that sometimes, even in Ayurveda, it is known as that gut is the center of our being. So you can imagine, if your gut is happy, you would be happy, and when your gut is upset, it'll take the whole body down in some way or the other. What happens if your gut is really unhappy? So when your gut is unhappy, it is going to break out in different ways, because serotonin is affected, immune system is affected. So your physical health, of course, in the form of digestive issues and microbiome, the gut bacteria is affected. You feel uneasy, you feel lethargic, you feel fatigued. You are not able to concentrate on your studies, and then you have these irritable modes, say mood swings, and so much more. Energy is low. So, and if it is chronic stress, because stress comes in here, when your serotonin is not made, cortisol, which is your stress hormone, that is poured out in excess. So what happens is, it can, over a period of time, if we let it go on, it is going to mess us up badly, physically, emotionally, and mentally. So which are the foods actually which are making your gut very unhappy? So I'll give you very, very few ones so that you don't get confused. The number one is sugar. And sugar doesn't mean your table sugar, white sugar. It's in any form. That means when you're eating chocolates, cakes, pastries, and donuts, and then you're having desserts of different kinds, ice cream. And not only those, it is also, sugar is sugar. It's in all the forms. That means your jaggery, your honey, and everything. While these are better options, but sugar, excess sugar, and more than our system needs, can create a lot of havoc, and eventually it causes a lot of inflammation in the body. The second food is your maida. That means your refined flour. it is, if not worse than sugar, it's as bad. So it also causes a lot of inflammation. Some people even have gluten allergy and stuff. So without spending too much time on this, I can just tell you a few foods we all know about. They are like ubiquitous everywhere. Pizzas, burgers, and pastries and cakes. They all have maida in it. Then the third one is vegetable oils. A lot of them we use. Then the main two things that you should be wary of are packaged foods and processed foods. So processed foods are almost negligible where nutrition is concerned. There's hardly any nutritional calories there because it's all processed, refined. And the packaged foods have so many additives, so many preservatives to keep it alive, that food like in good condition, and a lot of chemicals which are really, really bad for our system. Over a period of time, all these things together, if we keep having them on a regular basis, they cause inflammation in our body. We don't come to know because it is chronic inflammation, and it is systemic inflammation. That means slowly and steadily it'll start breaking down our body. And when you hear about things like obesity, diabetes, and everything else, so many lifestyle diseases, you cannot know what exact specific reason was, but all of these lead to a lot of problems for us. So what you might wonder, then what am I going to eat? What is left of eating? So I'm coming to these 4 tips. One is about certain eliminations from your diet, some things you need to add, and a couple more tips. So the first thing is eliminate. I do say eliminate means just throw them out, but I know that it is not practical so many times. So what you can do is, if you can't eliminate, at least reduce them as much as you can. So these are all sugar, maida products, all of them. And then fried foods, excessive, like deep fried foods are really bad. Then your, as I spoke about, some vegetable oils, all of these, like I consider soy oil, sunflower, safflower, vegetable oils are, say what we get in India, are below par. And then the two things that I spoke about are processed foods and say processed foods and packaged foods. They are something you need to be wary of as much as possible. So this is the first one. Now you might say, what do I eat? So there's a whole lot of neat, clean range to eat. So you have whole foods. You should have a lot of whole foods, which are real foods, not food like substances as packaged foods. So these packaged foods would also say include your Maggi noodles, your Nor soups, and all the packaged soups. They are full of sodium and sugar and a lot of preservatives. So now what do you eat? So you have a lot of vegetables, so many vegetables in India. Then you have your fruits, whole fruits, seeds, nuts. Then you have yogurt and some, say, good milk products. Then you have your good protein sources for the, say, non-vegetarians. Chicken breast is good. Then you have fish, depends upon whether you are fish eaters. Then for vegetarians, you have soy products, you have paneer, you have these lentils, legumes, beans, dried beans, and all, a lot of them. Then I would want to emphasize on good fat sources, the good oil sources. So for my top 3 are ghee, any day the best one. Coconut oil is amazing for cooking, and it's generally an anti-inflammatory oil. And then is extra virgin olive oil. So try incorporating these into your cooking. Obviously, you're not cooking, mostly your parents are, and you're at home, but you can suggest. Then the third tip that is very important, and I had to keep it separate from eliminations, is don't drink your sugar. So I would recommend that don't drink sweetened beverages. Be very careful. Let me tell you what counts in this. All the colas, cokes, soft drinks, then even iced teas, and even fruit juices, and especially the Tetra Pak ones, and anything that is sweetened. So what happens is, for example, you have one tin of Coke. It has 10 teaspoons of sugar in it. I mean, 400 grams of sugar in a single tin of Coke. If you don't believe it, go and Google it right after the session. And that is a lot of sugar. And what happens is, when you're drinking your sugar more than eating sugar, what happens is, sugar gets very quickly into your bloodstream because it's in liquid form. And it jacks up your insulin levels, your blood sugar levels within no time, few minutes. What happens when you have a sugar spike in your blood? You your an area in the brain which is called say a reward center, that is lit up. Your center in the brain is lit up. It happens the same way as somebody having cocaine or some drugs. It is lit up, you feel very good, and suddenly after a few minutes, even seconds, you have a sudden crash of blood sugar. So when there's crash, you crave that food again, and when you crave that food, you drink it again. So it is a vicious cycle where you drink or eat sugar, then you have a sugar spike, you have a sugar crash, then you crave it again, and then you drink or eat it again, and the circle continues. What happens is, once in a while, once a week, you indulge. Even I do indulge once in a while. So in these foods, especially sugar and in liquid form, it's okay once in a while. And it's a life, you need to enjoy everything, so once in a while is okay. But if it becomes a habit, because they are addictive, so what happens is, they hook you onto them. What happens over a period of time, you can't do without sugar. You have headaches when you remove it. So all those things. But the process of inflammation starts in your body, and thereafter, over a period of time, you have sugar issues like diabetes, obesity, and the first issues that start are, you're cranky, you're low on energy. I must tell you, try leaving sugar for a week, and these foods, and especially maida products and all. You'll see within a week, you'll be full of energy, you'll feel very light, and the other things like weight loss and other things will follow. But within a week, some people can feel within 2-3 days. 2-3 days, you have headaches and stuff. After the third day, you start feeling really good. And some people never get back to this. The fourth, the tip that I wanted to give is, most people ignore this, is hydrate yourself every day. Water is extremely important. You might find yourself sometimes very dehydrated, but you might not know. What happens is, you might have headaches and you wonder why is it happening? A backache, or you feel a little feverish, or say you don't feel very focused and you're fatigued, lethargic the whole day. So, and irritable. So lack of water, adequate water may be the case. Now, what is the thumb rule? It is 8 glasses of water, everybody knows. But remember, that's only the baseline. If it's summertime, you increase it accordingly. And if you're an athlete or very active in sports, or generally very active, you increase it accordingly. So I can assure you, if you follow these 4 tips, even these 4 tips in your life, you will start feeling the difference within a week. This is guaranteed. So let's move to the next one. Now, next one would be for me, E in Shrine, which is exercise. This is very close to my heart. And as you know, I'm a marathoner, and I'm jumping from marathons to strength training and other things, and I'm very fond of it. But I am fond of it, but I can tell you the benefits. The biggest thing is, it's a natural antidepressant. It's like, what does that mean? That means, if people, it has been researched, and research confirms this, that when some doctors and other health practitioners have put people who are depressed on exercise regime, they have been able to reduce their stress, the cortisol levels to a great extent. It's like it doesn't disappear, but it makes it better. So what happens is, in the brain and in your gut, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins, all are feel good hormones. They are released, and when they are released, cortisol, the stress hormone, goes down. And that's why you hear people saying that they, for their if they want to be energized for the day, they run, or they want to be energized, they go for a walk in green, or just generally for a brisk walk, they exercise. You might wonder, those who don't train or exercise, they might wonder, if you're exercising you should be feeling tired. But on the contrary, you really feel refreshed, revitalized, and ready to take on the day. So what are the tips? Now I want to make one distinction, and before that, let me tell you what is the baseline of exercise every day. So 30 minutes is all you need to exercise. This is the baseline to keep your body and your mind and your emotions happy. So 30 minutes for some people, 30 minutes also may be a challenge, and for some people, exercising may be a challenge. It's like, if you don't like exercise, you might not feel very motivated to exercise. So what do? 30 minutes seems like 1.5 hours or so. So I have very quick and smart tips for you, for especially those who want to be initiated into exercise. Before I give you those tips, I want to tell you the difference between exercise and movement. Now, most people think, if a lot of people actually I've met, that if you exercise for 1 hour, intense exercise for 1 hour a day, and then sit in your chair studying, and you're glued to your chair the whole day, or to your couch while watching TV, you're done for the day and you will be very healthy. That's a big myth. So what happens is, there's something called movement, which is bigger than exercise. Exercise is a part of it. So you exercise, that's very, very good. But that is not enough. What you need to do is, you cannot sit sedentary the whole day after that. You need to move around. You don't have to exercise all day, but you can move around. Those who get up and do some chores, or gently get up to stretch, and they're like doing something, some movement, physical movement through the day. And some people who do a lot of that and don't exercise, you will be surprised, some, they are the healthier ones. Many of them I know personally, those who don't have time, they do a lot of household chores, but they don't exercise, so they're very healthy. Now I want, especially for those who are not motivated by the word exercise, 1 hour exercise, like gym or run or swim, so for them this movement thing will motivate them. So the four quick tips, I think I had just have three quick tips. They are, the first thing is, break it down into micro movements. So you don't have 30 minutes, break it down into either 3 10 minutes windows, or say 2 15 minutes, or anything more is okay. So just remember that you need to just put in movement every now and then, and every minute, that means 10 minutes here, 7 minutes here, 5 minutes here, anything, everything counts at the end towards your body having exercise. So remember, you can break it down. You don't have to feel overwhelmed that, oh God, 30 minutes exercise, gym. There's, anyways, gyms and swimming pools are closed, but there's a lot you can do even at home. So that's the next thing I'll tell you. So what I mean is, you might wonder, what can be done in 7 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes? What is she talking about? Exercise doesn't happen so quickly. I can assure you that can work as well as a 1 hour session. So what can you do? 10 minutes, 10 or 12 minutes, you run and run for 2 kilometers. You have even 5 minutes, take the stairs and come back. It's an amazing exercise. First of all, it gets your heart rate up. All these cardio exercises, they work on your lower body. They're strength training you. They're giving you a good cardio workout. So besides that, you have HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training, which is like body weight exercises also can be done. So everything, like you can bang a few burpees, push-ups, you can have a few wall push-ups, you can do a few squats, lunges, anything. You just get out, get up. Of course, not while your lecture is on, but otherwise after the lecture, you can just do a few push-ups, or like you can skip rope. 5 minutes is more than enough for that. And if you're not a person who likes this explosive kind of a workout, what you can do is you do a stretching session of yoga. I mean, you don't have to know yoga, but you know a lot of stretches. There's so many YouTube links for that. So just do whatever works for you. If nothing, even if you're fidgeting, you're getting up, you're moving around within your floor or whatever, it works. Household chores, of course, count. So there's a concept called NEAT, NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That is like whatever you're doing other than you sleeping and eating, of course. It all burns calories. Every workout burns. Check it out, NEAT. You will know that movement really matters. Coming to the next one, second one may sound very simple, but it is very deep. Do what you love. Now, this sounds very frivolous. Now, why I say that, most of us, especially those who are like intimidated by exercising, they feel that they look at exercise from some other people's lens. They look at it from others' perspective. People tell them, "Oh, you don't exercise. Go to the gym, do strength training. You will get results. Or go run." What if you don't like to run? You don't like to do strength training? What if you like to dance? So I would say that any exercise is good exercise as far as you love it. If you love it, you're going to definitely continue. That's the point. So if you don't like something, you go to the gym when gyms are open and you spend 1 hour looking at somebody and doing it, and then you're overwhelmed. From the next day, you might not go at all, and then you might just cringe from exercising altogether. So what happens is when you love something, dance, say mixed martial arts, you might like yoga. If you might like tai chi, you might like slow ones, you might like explosive hit workouts, whatever you like, whatever floats your boat is for you. And you're going to be able to do it consistently, which is very important. So the third one is the final one, and it really works well with all my clients and all the friends that I know of course, myself including. Count your steps. So this is like counting 10,000 steps. 10,000 is a good goal to have as far as steps are concerned. So when you count your steps, you improve. So if you would have heard, anything that you measure improves. So what happens is, if you're not able to, there are so many days I have a lot of workload, I cannot put in anything, or I'm mentally not charged up to exercise. I go for a walk in between, or just stroll around, pace around in my house, and like whatever. Sometimes I might just like to walk. Walking is also wonderful. So I have this. I wear a Garmin watch. No, you don't need a Garmin. All the smartphones these days have, say, this feature to count steps, the measuring step features, or you can buy a, say, smart band. So let me tell you how good this is, because without realizing, you're exercising also, and this can be in addition to your exercise. And what happened was, it really worked in my life. We had to, my father-in-law is in his 80s, and we were visiting him a few months back, and it was winter time. So we were thinking of what gift to take, and finally we decided on taking a smart watch for him which could count steps. And men in 80s don't really, unless they were athletes, they don't really exercise much. And lo and behold, from day one, when we set it up for him, he started walking. It was like really dense winter in Punjab, and he started with 3,000 steps. Then he would be tired because he didn't exercise before that. Then again 3,000 steps. So he started with 6,000 steps monitoring. And when we came back, he would call us up and tell he was addicted to counting steps. And now it is minimum 10,000. Sometimes he's very motivated. He goes to 11,000. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't wind up before that. So it can really, really work well. So moving to the next one, I would like to say that remember it's an antidepressant. So those who are not motivated can try these tips out. Moving to the next letter of the word shrine, the first one is sleep. Now, I feel, first tell me, have you ever felt like a zombie moving through the day after an all nighter when you've been up preparing for a project all night? And it's the next day, lectures mean like mumbo jumbo to you. They don't make any sense. You're not able to register what people are talking about, and you wonder what is he teaching or she's teaching. I don't understand. Or maybe you're like irritable and you like moving like you are some kind of a spirit and you have no idea what's happening around you. Have you? I have. So many times this has happened with me. So, of course, earlier. So, what happens is that sleep is often overlooked and underrated. It is such an important link in our chain of well being, and it's often ignored. People would talk about nutrition, exercise, even meditation and stuff, but sleep is often ignored. And I can tell you it's so important that I have had myself a very, very unfortunate experience of a few months. I have gone through it and understood this importance the hard way. So what happened was, like, first let me tell you that sleep, immunity, your gut health, and stress, everything is interrelated. So anything, any one thing becomes, say, below par, everything else comes down. So it's like a domino effect. So it brings everything down. So sleep is something like that. One of like you have a project and one off night once in a while is okay. You make up. But even after that, you feel like a zombie and you feel very lethargic. But if it becomes a regular affair with you, I've seen people, even in my family and friends, if it's a regular affair and you have a disrupted sleep per se, you are not in a good place. It can, over a period of time, cause a lot of inflammation, break down all the things. It can cause a lot of things like stress, cortisol. These are, like I've discussed so many times, anxiety, gut, compromised gut health, lowered immunity, all that is fine. It can cause inflammation, and that's not like simple inflammation. It's systemic inflammation. That means it starts holding on to different parts in your system, and you sometimes feel that you're having low BP. You have, some people have high BP. Then in my case, what happened, I was a few years back, 3-4 years back, I was having my day job, whatever I was doing. Plus at night, I was writing books because I had very tight deadlines for back-to-back 2 books. So what happened was I didn't realize this importance, and I would write in the daytime, do my work in the daytime, and in the quiet of the night, I would sit and write till say 3, then sometimes, some nights 4, but then some 2 a.m. What happened over a period of time, I stopped getting sleep before 5 o'clock in the morning. Now I was of course very lethargic in the day. I would feel sleepy. In fact, I still have, sometimes I feel, one off time that I'm having this mental fog when I can't think clearly. And it's all continuing till now, those small side effects. So what happened to me was it caught on to me and it affected me in the form of all my joint pain. So all my joints, every single joint started hurting so much. In fact, what happened was that I'm a runner. So I would go for a run. Otherwise, I was doing marathons. I would step out and within, say, 2-3 minutes, I would start having knee pain, back pain. I used to do heavy push-ups. I used to do deadlifts. My back would, the moment I would bend, I would get a catch in my back. It was so bad that I didn't understand. Eventually, I understood that my body was sleep deprived. I had become an insomniac. This is not the worst. If you, I was trying to walk fast, my heart rate would go up. And I can tell you that the worst thing is, I know of some people who have been stressed and not able to sleep, and while they're exercising, they've just left us. I mean, they've just had a cardiac arrest. So you have to take sleep very, very, very seriously. And as I've discussed, that it is important, but how much? So 8 hours is ideal. 8 hours is absolutely ideal, but 7 is also okay. And one more important thing, quality matters as much as quantity. So what I mean is, if you're in bed, you're going to bed and you're tossing and turning, and you have a monkey mind, you're thinking of planning for the next day and stuff, that doesn't count as your sleep. So it has to be good sleep of 7 to 8 hours. And then so some people must be worried, what do I do to improve my sleep? Now the problem is, there are so many things you can do, and I can't cover in one session, but I'll give you the top tips, and you can rest assured you're going to be benefiting from it. So the first one is, fix your sleep routine, which means, it sounds simple, but it's very effective. Whether, whatever time, you don't focus on what time you're getting up, you fix your sleeping time. You wind up in time. That means you sleep in time, you lie down in bed, whether you get sleep or not, say 10 p.m. Then you are in bed by 10 p.m. And of course, you wake up at a fixed time as well. So what happens is, you are trying to put your circadian rhythm of your body, the waking and sleeping cycle, back into the process, how it was meant to be. So every day, same time, even on weekends, if you can. If you're having problem, you must try doing this. The second one is, follow a digital sunset. Now, what is digital sunset? Like sunsets every single evening at the same time. Digital sunset is that you put away all your electronics, all your gadgets away, and at a specified time, say 1.5 hours before your bedtime, but at least 1 hour before your bedtime. That is non-negotiable. You should make it non-negotiable. What happens is that all the blue and white light from all the gadgets, which include TV, your laptop, your smartphone, or any other gadget, they all disrupt your circadian rhythms. They disrupt your, say, resting rhythm when you need to start winding down. So they don't let you wind down. And besides, anyways, you have to put your notifications, all notifications off, because those notifications, when you're tempted to look at your phone, if there's a ting and ting, so you say, okay, just one more. So just put them off. This is part of this, say, regime of that sleep hygiene. And what you do is that put it off, put it away totally, and for 1 hour minimum before your bedtime. And so what happens is, there's a hormone called melatonin, which induces sleep. So these devices all interfere with melatonin production. So the third one is a very important one too. This is like, follow a caffeine curfew. Now you might wonder, you might think that only coffee is caffeine. So caffeine comes in the form of tea, coffee, even chocolates, and the bigger source is your energy drinks like Red Bull and all. They'll just stimulate you. They have stimulants. Coffee is a stimulant, and tea is a stimulant. That's why when you want to study and you want to focus, you have tea, coffee, and Red Bull and stuff. So remember that these caffeine actually has 10 hours of life. Its half life is 5 to 6 hours in the blood. So what happens is, you need to work it out backwards and have your last cup of coffee. Some people don't really, they can sleep with 2 cups of coffee, and I've seen them in my own home. So they can have coffee and sleep off very nicely. But some people, they get stimulated very easily. So for them, it is very important to work it out backwards. And I would recommend have your last cup of whatever tea, coffee by 2 p.m. or work it out your way. So without much ado, I think we have very little time. So need to move very quickly. So the next one is after sleep, we have interventions of the mind. That is the I in shrine. So interventions of the mind are say the most important mindfulness tools, and this has been the most transformative tool in my life. I'll quickly go through it. These are meditation, the breath work, and journaling. These are non-negotiable part of my journey, I must say. And why do I say that? Because these activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which actually brings down stress in the body. So say we'll talk about the first one, which is breath work, which is deep breathing exercises. There are a whole lot of them. If you check YouTube, diaphragmatic breathing, then pranayam based breathing and all. But I'll quickly go to the simplest forms of two breathing techniques. And I can tell you, this is something, when you have frayed nerves and you're like agitated, they can calm you down quickly. You can do them anywhere, any place. In fact, if you are standing in the queue of billing queue, you can just breathe, and you can do it. If there's a boring lecture, then also you just breathe and you will feel much better. So this is first one is called box breathing. I have to actually go very quickly. So box breathing calms you down immediately, and the special forces also of our country, when they are sent to high risk areas, they generally do this box breathing. As the name specifies, you breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, and hold for 4 counts. So it's like inhale 4 counts, hold 4 counts, exhale 4 counts. If you do it now, hold 4 counts. What happens in, even in one iteration, you feel slightly better. Do it for 4 or 5 times. It doesn't take more than a minute, and you feel much better. The second one is 4-7-8 breathing. Again, it's like 4 count breathing in, 7 counts hold, 8 counts breathing out, and do it maximum 4 times. It also helps you sleep. Then let's go to the simple. Let's go to meditation. This is the best way to anchor your focus. Like you can generally like if you are say you have a monkey mind all the time, and you want to focus, and you have some big projects coming up, and anyways you need to deal with stress throughout your life, there's nothing better than meditation. Now you might say it is boring, it is long. It doesn't have to be long. So I'll give you the quickest tips possible to build your attention muscle through meditation. So 3 simple tips. Start very small. Do 2 minutes, but do it daily. The second tip is do it daily, and preferably in the mornings, because morning you're fresh. You have to take on the day, so you are fresh, and when you meditate, you feel very calm instantly. You're able to diffuse stress. So these 3 tips you can start, and 2 minutes is what you need to do. If you do for 10-15 minutes the first day, you're not going to do it again. So might as well work it slowly up. So next, and there are a lot of types of meditations, like guided and non self-guided. So guided, you can check out YouTube. They're like body scan meditation, stress relief meditation, then you have gratitude meditation, and all of them. If you don't like them, go for self-guided meditation. You have a lot of music, meditation music online. Moving to journaling as the third one, it is like you offload your emotions and thoughts on paper. So it can be your best confidant, your friend, because nobody has to look at your journal. When you actually journal, and there are 2 ways you can journal. First is the morning pages. What happens is, it is like a brain dump for you. You also outsource or offload all your worries, fears, frustrations, everything, good feelings, bad feelings on that paper, and you're ready to take on the day. The second one, at end of the day, journaling acts more like a, say, review of your day. So you are reviewing it in the sense, what went well in that day. So you have gratitude for that. What didn't go so well, you say, okay, I have to put in more work, so you can structure your next day accordingly. So this is very, very important. And remember, at the end of the day, there is no right or wrong way of journaling. Like, it's like totally whatever you do. If I had these interventions of the mind, mindfulness tools in my times, I would have really been really happy. They can really make you calm and deal with stress, and I wouldn't miss a day without them. They are part of my daily ritual. So let's go to the next one. That is R in Shrine, that is relationships. I'll quickly cover this. See, man is a social animal, and we have this inherent need to connect with each other. Of course, in these times, you can't be socially, physically connected, but it is even more important to be connected, which means you should talk to people. What happens is there's so much unfortunate news, media overdrive, and you are stressed out. Even as students, you're stressed out because of a lot of work that you have. Now, what happens because of that is, a lot of times, some people become depressed if they don't share. You need an outlet to vent out, and this just makes it easy for you. Stress will always be there in life in some way or the other, at some time, or at some point in time or the other. What you need to do is to be able to deal with stress. It really helps, even if you don't like talking too much to people. It helps to have somebody as your confidant, who can you can share with. If you have some fears and frustrations, challenges, please do share, either with a friend or a family member, or both. When they joke, when they laugh, when they talk to you, it really takes a lot of load, emotional and mental load, off your chest. Moving to habits, which is H of Shrines, the last one. And why I kept it last, you would know that if in case you, all these tools I shared with you, if you're not able to use them, if they rust in your toolbox here, they're of no use. My talk would go absolutely waste. So I kept these habits now, because when you make habits out of these tools, when you use these tools to make habits, the habits that you desire, they run on autopilot. Then you don't have to use your willpower every day, that I need to say I need to exercise every day. You are wondering how to use your willpower. Then if you want to meditate, you are using your willpower every single day. And then there's so many things. So willpower is a limited resource, so you should use it for very few things. So leave these things to build habits and let them run on autopilot. This is very important. So let me so don't use your willpower, as I said. And I want to give you 4 tips which are very quick, and they are really time tested ones. Now, the first one is, as I mentioned earlier, start really small. Start so small that it's difficult to fail. So if you want to say, start meditating, start with 2 minutes. I've mentioned that earlier. Do it daily, because these habits won't form unless you are consistent. Be very, very consistent, and don't skip a day. It's like, if you have to skip, not more than a day. Then the third one is very important. Just listen up. It is, use the algorithm if then. So it is called if then. So if you have a new habit that you want to form, say a meditation, and you have to say anchor it on an already existing habit. So you have certain habits, like you wake up, you brush your teeth, you bathe and stuff. So what you do is, when you want to form a new habit, anchor it onto an already existing habit. So for example, you want to meditate and you're not able to do it. Motivate yourself. So the previous night, you tell yourself, if I hear the say my alarm go off and I wake up, then I will meditate for 2 minutes. So if and then. So if you are too lazy to exercise and don't wake up, you tell yourself, if I brush my teeth, then I will go out of the house and walk, run, whatever. I will step out, and slowly it'll become a habit, and you will increase. Now, going to the very important, slightly talking about the structure part. Structure your day into time blocks. What do I mean by time blocks? It is a very effective time management technique. And what happens is, you make 60 to 90-minute chunk. You just put aside 60-90-minute chunk of continuous time. This is as per the order of your priority of your jobs. And this 60 to 90 minutes, you're not going to multitask. You're not going to have your phone near you. Notifications will be off. You will totally be focused and not move till you finish that. Of course, you can stretch, get up and come back, but no distractions, because these distractions, phones and all, they actually make have attention residue. They keep it, and then your half attention is there, you can't focus. This is very, very good. So invest in a planner. I would recommend that you have a planner. I have this tiny change planner. It has every day has hourly slots. So if you have hourly slots every day, you plan your most important work earlier, and then the next, then have the creative work, and then take breaks between these chunks of time blocks. And then once you're finished with 2 3 of them, you'll feel very relieved. You will have the say you'll have monkey off your back totally, because your major work will be done, stress will be off, and also you'll be able to put in some time for your interests, what you like to do, your hobbies and stuff. You will feel much easier, and you'll also sleep better. Now, I would recommend that you read this book, because there are certain books that I do want you to read. This is called Deep Work by Cal Newport. This is an amazing book in this regard. Then I have this The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. I can send you the names later. Then I also like Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg. These are some of the books. And as far as sleep is really concerned, this is the Bible, sleep Bible for me, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. So now I quickly want to wind up by saying that all these are of no use, just talking and then forgetting. Think of it. I made this shrine just for you. Think of your body like a temple, or a place where you worship. Then your body, if you're doing everything, you're looking after your body and taking care of it, your body will give back to you the blessings of being happy, being able to deal with stressors of life. So what I want to say is, let's go through shrine once again. As sleep. Sleep is the missing link generally. It is often overlooked. Please do not ignore it. Then we have H. Habits are very important. Let them take your life on autopilot, so that it eases out a lot of stress from your life. Then we have our relationships are very important, and keep connected with people. Then I is interventions of the mind. That means mindfulness tools. They are the best way that you can anchor your focus and attention muscle. Then nutrition, of course. Your gut is the say center of your being, so take care of it. E is exercise. Is the best kind of say antidepressant, the most natural one you'll have. With this, I want to just end the session by just telling you, if you want more tips, you can visit my social media. I have an Instagram handle, which is Tanuja Sodhi, or I have Facebook page called Wellness Hub by Tanuja Sodhi. So you have a whole lot of information there. And I want to end with this quote at the end. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. It's very simple. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. So put in small efforts, small steps daily, today and tomorrow and every day. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'm open for questions. There would be a lot of questions, but I don't know how much time is there to do.
Actually, ma'am, whatever the questions are asked by the students, the answer are already given by you. Like what to be set a positive mindset or how to be healthy. All the answers are given by you. Okay, so we'll end this session. Yes, Vaibhavi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, Tanuja ma'am, for your valuable time and giving us such an amazing information about the healthy living through Shrine. And it was a very useful for us. And yes, it was a good experience which we all had throughout the session. And also, I would like to thank our principal, Professor Jatin Vaidya sir, and HOD Ms. Poonam Faldu ma'am, to provide endless support and motivation to take such initiative. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much for giving this platform. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.